Good Wednesday afternoon. Roger Hill, VELCO Weather Hazards forecaster. This is the VELCO Weather Hazards outlook. Looking at the large picture here, we can see the heat and humidity. These are rolling in with this kind of weak ridge of higher pressure. And you're looking at current temperatures right now, back from this morning and so on and so forth. Checking the dew point temperatures, they look like this. And you can see even a few 70s are now being registered. I have a current dew point temperature of 72 degrees in Worcester, Vermont. So quite humid, and that's raising that heat indice. The heat index looks like this. We're already seeing temperatures in the upper 80s, probably headed for the low 90s, and we're already starting to see these across the southern part of the United States. A lot of that now has made inroads toward the northeast United States, and that's what we're looking at right now. In terms of precipitation, we have this trough of lower pressure. It is bringing down cooler air, but also some shower and thunderstorm activity. This is going to be mostly just air mass pop-ups, and the best chances would be along the eastern Adirondacks into some parts of western Vermont. Has just a very slight possibility of an isolated thunderstorm cell. Not looking at anything severe. However, probably locally heavy rainfall associated with just about anything that develops due to the slow movement of these cells. And eventually we're going to see this weather system here push in along about Friday. This is a cold front. This is also going to push in a little bit of some of the smoke from the Canadian wildfires, and that could be developing and pushing into the region. We already have a little bit of that light smoke out ahead. Let's take a look at the computer. We're going to keep it with the European model, and what you can see here is just a little bit of moisture being in the model, showing generally where the cloud cover is. But there could be a couple isolated cells again in western parts of Vermont today. Not really anticipating anything major. That's for Wednesday, and then of course Wednesday night we clear things out, looking pretty good. And then Thursday is going to be a warm and hot day. Again, a couple of shower and thunderstorm possibilities, fairly isolated and weak. That would be in the vicinity of the southern Green Mountains as it looks right now. So this is valid about 21Z, about 5 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, and we can see just a little bit more widespread moisture being indicated. A lot of that is just convective feedback, but there could be a couple, again, isolated showers and thunderstorms along the southern and central Green Mountains, about it, and fairly isolated. Now, we get into Friday. This is going to be our issue here with this cold front. It's running into a very warm, juiced-up air mass. We got heat ahead of it, and if we get any sunshine in the morning hours, which it's looking like we will, these are going to be powering up. I don't see a lot of wind shear right now. That's the good news, but that convergence zone working in, that frontal boundary, that's going to trigger some shower and thunderstorm activity, and there's a possibility some of that could be strong to locally severe. So that is our main impact this outlook period to worry about. It looks like it's going to be on Friday. On Sunday, we have another impactful scenario. Let's take a look at that. So as we run the computer model, we get into this business on Friday. There we go. Boom. And then the cold front pushes on by. Things wind on down. Looks like on Friday evening. And then Saturday looks like a great day. We got a day after that front moves on by. That should knock down the humidity just a little bit. Should lower the temperature quite a bit and set the stage for what should be a pretty fine Saturday. So if you have plans this weekend for Saturday, keep them. Unfortunately, Sunday is not looking nearly so good. We have some jet stream energy with that trough of lower pressure, and it's lining up a frontal system and probably spinning up a kind of a weak surface low. These are something you really don't see typically in the summer, and again, we're getting one of these. This is going to be a juiced up air mass, so this is valid basically on Saturday night and early Sunday morning, and look what goes on here. We get some pretty impressive rainfall streaks going through. Now, this looks like it's kind of convective, but the indications are there's probably not going to be a whole lot in the way of thunderstorm activity. This is going to be one of those kind of stratiform precipitation kind of deals. And these have been kicking us around each weekend, it seems like. We have kind of a rainy gray day, and indeed, this is what this looks like. And it unloads a tremendous amount of rain, in some cases better than 1.5 inches. So this could be some high precipitable water. In fact, 4 to 5 standard deviation sigma, which is kind of out of extraordinary there. So this may be a little bit of an overdoing of the model, but needless to say, it arrives on Sunday. It looks like it lasts into Sunday night, and then by the time we get into Monday, high pressure builds in, and it looks like we might actually get a 3-day stretch beyond the outlook period, Monday included, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. This is exactly what farmers are hoping for, because we need 3 days for a window to cut, tend, and then pick up that hay. And about 2.5, 3 days is what they basically need, and we might be seeing this if this were to hold. Quickly now, we're looking at the GFS ensemble plume centered on Montpelier, Vermont, and you can see convectively each day we have a lot of shower and thunderstorm indications here. Looking at the total amount of QPF, that will add up day by day. We're looking at over basically 2 inches, getting out past 7 days. Now, precipitable water looks like this. It's pretty high. It's running about 1.4, 1.6 and whatnot, and there's not a lot of drying out or reduced amounts of moisture here. In fact, the only thing that's reduced here is basically Wednesday and Thursday, and then it picks right up again as that cold front pushes into the region. A little bit of a drop off, and then we're right back into it. So precipitable water over convective available potential energy. These are the afternoon heating days. You can see that each day we're getting some of that. You get up around 800 joules per kilogram, and that's a pretty good updraft core for many of our big towering cumulus clouds and cumulonimbi out there. The days featuring especially on Friday, Saturday is not going to be a problem, I don't think. Again, we were just looking at that with the European model, and there seems to be a little bit of an offset here. But by the time we get into Sunday, we got a lot of moisture working on in. Now you put Cape over shear, and right now shear is not a big deal. We're talking 25 knots here. You really need 30 knots or more to really get some super duper organization. Not seeing that yet. Gonna watch it. And this is the Weather Prediction Center QPF total for the next 7 days, and the amounts are pretty extraordinary. Looking at somewhere around 3 inches in this line here. A little bit less as you go into northern Vermont, so this stretch area is going to be problematic. And of course, this is one of the higher areas across the country in terms of rainfall. Looking at temperature, 2-meter analysis right now, we have well above normal up here in Quebec. By the way, they're getting some rain in some of these wildfire areas, especially east of James Bay, Canada, a little bit even into parts of northern Ontario. All good news there. We have this frontal system that's brought down anomalously colder air into the Dakotas, it looks like, into the northern Rockies. Of course, out ahead of it, anomalously warm, and that's where we sit today. And if anything, is going to increase. So the weighted temperatures, much like we were looking at here, the cooler air behind that frontal boundary, we have -9. We're sitting in the +3 to +6 degree mode. It's already pretty hot, and this is not extraordinary, but just weighted a little bit upward. Now, by the time we get 3 days later, this is the next 5 days of meteorological output statistics for the high temperatures only, and then we neutralize that maybe just a little bit above normal. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Weatherman Heights. Thanks for watching.